Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. In this video, we're going to dive into Cingulate Incorporated's latest filing, and let's just say the numbers are telling a story and not always a happy one. Before we jump in, if you like getting crystal clear, no jargon insights from these corporate documents, make sure you are subscribed. And hey, we've got a fantastic community of sharp investors discussing these things over on our Discord, linked in the description below. You definitely don't want to miss out. Alright, let's get straight to it. We're looking at a document that signals a company's health and operations, and Cingulate Inc. has just put out their latest report. Think of this as their quarterly checkup, and sometimes the doctor's visit reveals things that need attention. This specific report is called a Form 8K. It is like a special announcement for investors, telling them about significant events that have happened. In this case, the big event is the announcement of their financial results for the quarter that ended on the 30th of September 2025, and a little update on how things are going with the business. Now, when we talk about a company's financial results, the first thing most people want to know is, are they making money? We're looking for the net income, which basically means what is left over after all the expenses are paid. Unfortunately, what we're seeing here is a trend of losses. For instance, in the period ending the 30th of September 2025, the company reported a net loss. This isn't unusual for companies that are growing or developing new products, but it is definitely something to keep a close eye on. It means they are spending more money than they are bringing in right now. Now, let's talk about how the company exists in the public market. Cingulate Inc. securities are registered on the Nasdaq stock market. This is where their shares, like their common stock, are traded. It is important to know because this stock is publicly available for anyone to buy and sell. They also have warrants, which are like options to buy stock in the future. The ticker symbol for their common stock is Cing, and for their warrants it is Cingu. This tells us exactly how to find and trade their securities on the stock exchange. Here is an interesting point. The company has checked the box indicating they are an emerging growth company. What this means is they are a relatively new company, and they get to follow some simpler rules for financial reporting compared to bigger, older companies. It is a way to ease the burden on newer businesses as they get established. They also have chosen not to use the extended transition period for complying with new or revised financial accounting standards, which means they are adopting newer accounting rules more quickly. This section is really the heart of the report for investors. It is where the company talks about their performance. They put out a press release on the 13th of November 2025 to share their financial results for the third quarter of 2025 and give a business update. The report tells us that this information, while included in this filing, is being furnished rather than filed. This is a technical distinction, but it basically means it is for your information, but they are not taking on the same level of legal responsibility for it as if they had formally filed it under certain sections of the law. It is a common way for companies to share earnings news without triggering certain liabilities immediately. And the press release itself, dated the 13th of November 2025, is included as an exhibit. This is what we'll find the actual numbers and the company's commentary on their performance in. Think of the 8K filing as the cover letter and the press release as the detailed letter inside. Now, let's try to look past the standard corporate language and find the real story in the financials, assuming we could see the press release mentioned. Typically, these reports would detail revenue numbers, cost of goods sold, operating expenses, and finally, the net income or loss. For a company like Cingulate, which is likely in the biotechnology or pharmaceutical space given its name, and focus, growth, and research and development are key. Investors will be looking for signs of progress in their product pipeline, successful clinical trials, and a clear path to market. If their revenue stream is low or non-existent, it is expected that they will be reporting a net loss. The crucial question is whether the spending is fueling innovation that will eventually lead to profitability, or if it is just burning through cash without a clear return. We'd want to see if their expenses are increasing faster than their revenue might suggest potential issues. And finally, we have the interactive data file. This is essentially a machine-readable version of the report, designed to make it easier for computers and financial systems to process the information. It is a standard part of modern SEC filings. The signature section confirms who is officially signing off on this report on behalf of the company. In this case, it is Jennifer L. Callahan, who holds prominent positions as Interim Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer. Her signature means she is attesting to the accuracy of the information provided in the filing as of the 13th of November 2025. So, what is the story here for Cingulate Inc.? Based on this filing, we see a company that has publicly traded securities and is operating under the reporting requirements for emerging growth companies. The core of the report The financial results would tell us if they are generating revenue, and more importantly, if they are on a path to profitability or continuing to operate at a loss. For a company likely in a research intensive field, losses might be expected, but the key will be the narrative around that spending. Are they making significant progress with their products? Are there exciting clinical trial results? Is there a clear strategy to turn these investments into future revenue? Without the detailed financial tables from the press release, it's hard to give firm numbers, but the overall picture is of a company in its developmental stages, seeking to innovate and grow, much like many other companies in its sector. The recurring dates, the 13th of November 2025, highlight a specific reporting period and the date of this announcement, anchoring the information in time. The continuity of the reference number 0001,862,150 across various fields suggests a consistent identifier for the entity or transaction being reported. What this filing really signifies is the ongoing journey of a growth-oriented company. The emphasis on financial results and business updates points to a period of active development and strategic execution. For investors, the crucial takeaway will be the details of their financial performance, particularly the revenue trends and the burn rate. Are they moving closer to self? Sustainability, or is the cash burn accelerating without clear signs of revenue growth? The emerging growth company status implies a focus on future potential, but it also means that current profitability might be secondary to long-term strategic goals. The company is essentially telling the market, here is where we are now, and here is what we're doing to build for the future. The real test will be in the execution of their strategy and their ability to translate innovation into financial success. Alright, that is our breakdown of Cingulate Inc's latest filing. What is your take on these insights? Do you see potential for growth, or are the losses a major red flag for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to check out the Discord community in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.